Okay, this video is slightly different in that I am talking about some of the reasons as to why you make the financial decisions you make and maybe don't realize what's actually playing out there. There are so many factors that go into your financial decision making, whether it's neurodivergence, whether it's the state of the economy, whether it's the culture in which you were raised in, so many different factors that we don't actually realize. Many of us sit there thinking that we're just crap with money, we're just stupid, and the mistakes we make are just because of our brains not working properly. But actually there are so many more factors that go into the financial decisions you make, and I think it's really important that you know about it. That you know about it so you can then work through addressing those challenges. Otherwise you will plod along and your finances won't love you for it as a result. There are so many things you can do to address some of these challenges. But let me start in this video by just listing some of those challenges so you can see what resonates with you and what maybe explains the state of your financial life and your business finances. Now, for those of you who have not come across me before, my name is Krystle McGilvery. I'm a finance and behavioural change catalyst. I run a company called Mind Over Money, which is all about supporting people like you, whether you're a business owner or you are fully employed, but helping you make better financial decisions and feel more confident about it. We roll up our sleeves and get into the ins and outs of your financial life, helping you improve your financial behaviours and build good habits. Now, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to dive in because I think this is a really important video. Now, the stuff we're talking about here shows up in your day-to-day financial decisions. Now, I'm not talking about counting money. I'm talking about financial related decisions such as, do you have a life insurance policy? Have you taken out income protection? Are you investing your money? Are you requesting a salary increase? Are you afraid to request a salary increase? Where are you on that scale in terms of financial confidence and resilience? Now I'm going to dive right in and talk about neurodivergence. For many, neurodiversity and the differences of our brain can negatively impact our financial decision making. Now, neurodivergence may be dyslexia, dyscalculia, ADHD, autism, Tourette's. I could continue. Now, they all have their own unique traits and combinations and are wonderfully so, but they can negatively impact your financial decision making. For example, as an ADHDer, you may be awfully forgetful like I am, which means that maybe when it comes to subscriptions, you tend to forget to cancel the ones that you're not using anymore. Or maybe you lose your bank card often. Guilty. Or maybe you are dyslexic and actually looking at the numbers is what puts you off and makes you feel overwhelmed, which means maybe you avoid your finances, or maybe you have shutdowns and meltdowns and actually you avoid your finances altogether. Maybe you're sensitive to rejection. So when it comes to talking to your accountant or talking to a financial advisor or somebody who works in the bank and they're speaking to you with judgmental eyes because you haven't done what you're supposed to do, that can make you shut down and hide away. I've heard many stories about people who've been spoken to so badly by finance professionals that causes them to run away and can expose them to spiraling finances in the negative direction. So neurodivergence plays a large part in your financial decision making. And I must also add, many people actually aren't aware that they're neurodiverse. So you may be sitting there struggling with your finances and not actually realize that it may be down to some of these traits as to why you're struggling with your financial decisions and building financial confidence, which actually is number one and the most crucial thing to address. Let's move on to marketing tactics. Now, this one, I think most of us are aware of, right? When we look online to do some online shopping or we walk down the high street and we see the shop window looking so glorious, we see massive red signs or pink signs maybe online, making the item that they want you to buy salient, really attractive, that it pops out on the screen. Or it's the first thing you see when you look in the shop window, offering a discount, a reduced price, or a last minute offer. All these things are marketing tactics to get you to buy the item now. They let you know that somebody in your local area has just bought the same item, or let you know there's only one left. Now, all of these are created to attack your subconscious, make you feel an emotional heightened state so that you buy the thing now. Of course, combined with so many other factors, this can cause you to spend money when you wasn't intending to, which is problematic, which can only lead to a negative state when it comes to your personal finances or your business finances. Let's move swiftly on to financial education. Now, we know that financial education is not compulsory in schools, which means that children are leaving the education system without the right information they need to lead healthy financial lives. Now, we're not talking about maths. We're not talking about calculus, being able to add and divide, and sure, that basic stuff is required, but we are missing out on being able to make a decision about a mortgage. What is an interest-only mortgage? What's required when it comes to debt? How do I maintain my credit profile? How do I buy a house? How do I increase my salary? What should I be looking out for in my payslip? This kind of information should be shared in schools because those children turn into adults and those adults have to make important life decisions and build a family. Financial education is crucial, but at the moment you are likely to have not been taught about financial education in schools, and as an adult you're now required to make those decisions, and it's on you to go and seek the education you need to make those better decisions. Now let's bring in the state of the economy. Of course, we have things such as the cost of living crisis, high inflation, high interest rates impacting your actual take home. So the amount of money you have to pay for things has definitely declined. But also, depending on when you were born, how you feel about the state of the economy and interest rates are also affected. Those of us who are older and are familiar with interest rates being high as they are right now don't feel any way. But those of us who are maybe younger and are not familiar with higher interest rates are feeling really nervous and uncomfortable. Now, this difference is impacting how we are making financial decisions. It's causing us to be more cautious, maybe not invest. And that, of course, will negatively impact your financial life and your wealth overall. Now let's talk about technology. Now, technology is great. Technology is evolving at a crazy, fast, exponential rate. There's so much we can do with tech, but there's also a downside. Now, combined with some of these factors that I've raised in this video, the lack of financial education, for example, and neurodivergence, technology that's allowing you to buy things like that can be problematic. If you're in an emotional heightened state and you see something online and all you have to do is breathe on the phone, for example, to be able to process the transaction, that's problematic. Encouraging you to make decisions when you're in that emotional heightened state is not good. Or making financial decisions when you don't fully understand the decision you're making is problematic. And all that's going to happen is your finances are going to be negatively impacted. So for technology to be growing in the rate that it's growing, ideally we'd have the right financial education alongside it to support it. Now think back to the way you was raised and the environment in which you grew up in, your culture. What's normal for those around you becomes normal for you. Now, if you have cultural norms that are not positive when it comes to your personal finances, you are likely to adapt them, which means your personal finances are not going to be good too. This could be financial habits. It could be down to things such as buying certain clothing or certain cars or shoes, because actually that's what your community and your people do. But if you're doing that for the sake of fitting into your local community and your peers, you're likely to not be doing it for the right reasons, such as increasing your wealth and building stable finances. Now let's talk about gender. We have a gender gap, which impacts women negatively because men tend to be paid more. Now, of course, this continues to impact women in greater ways, such as investing and saving, because they have less money to do so, which affects them in later life. And the same with their pensions. But also think about the other side and the lack of financial confidence as a result. If women are not encouraged to invest and save and earn more, they're less likely to go and seek it. So women therefore are impacted negatively twice. Now let's finally touch on systemic barriers and class. There are many systemic barriers that affect specific groups from accessing finance, information, education. There's a financial accessibility issue that prevents people from making good financial decisions and building wealth. And also in the area of class, it's possible that the lower the class you were raised in, the less likely you are to have been given financial education or the right financial education to build financial wealth. And also it's been found that risk appetite is lower, which means those in the lower class are less likely to invest, again impacting their future wealth. Now, I've laid out some of the reasons why you might struggle to make good financial decisions or feel as though you are capable of achieving certain results or earning a certain level of pay. But I don't want this video to be completely doom and gloom. I want you to be aware, of course, there are some things that we cannot change like that. But there is so much that we can change just like that. But this does require us to take some time to reflect on some of the points I made in this video. And there are many other factors that I haven't included here. But take some time to reflect and see, okay, are any of these impacting the way I am with my finances right now? What is it I'm doing? Why am I doing it? Where did I learn to do the things I'm doing now? What do I think and feel and believe about finance? Is something stopping me from seeking a pay rise? Why? What is that? Take the time to think about where you'd like to be. What would you like your financial circumstances to look like? And then seek out a mentor or a guide or educators who can help you on that journey and fill in those blanks so you can improve your financial circumstances. Of course, like I said, there are some things that we can't change straight away, but I'm all about identifying and leaning into those areas that you can change. So hopefully from this video, you've learned some things about what may be impacting you and your financial life, and you can go about making better financial decisions and working to improve the state of your finances. Of course, until next time, see you soon.